Have you ever wanted to visit a country but fear held you back? Maybe I'm talking to you. Maybe you're sitting in your living room or bedroom right now and you're listening to this question. Fear can sometimes take a huge toll on our lives. It can prevent us from traveling to amazing countries, from exploring different arenas in this world, from trying different foods to experiencing new cultures. Fear can really impact our lives. And you have to ask the question, why is fear holding me back? Fear number one, well, what if I get lost? That's a common question I hear. And as a traveler who has lived in Japan for over 9 years and has traveled to other Asian countries, including Vietnam, the Philippines, Thailand, Taiwan, you name it, Vietnam, I have gotten lost many times. And yes, that idea of getting lost can be a little unnerving. But let me tell you from my experience, getting lost can sometimes be a good thing. Because when you get lost, you might find that hidden cafe that you had never seen or even heard about reading a blog or watching a YouTube video. And I have been lost a lot of times. In fact, when I first arrived in Tokyo, first week of Tokyo, my phone died and I didn't bring a charger. Now that's my fault. But I got lost. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know where the electronic stores were in that area. And let me tell you, Tokyo is massive. There are over 200 train lines in Tokyo. There are over 13 million people in Tokyo. But because of that experience of getting lost, I have been able to travel all over Tokyo. I was able to find hidden gems that I had never knew that I would find just because I got lost. And getting lost allows you to get experience. I have had so many incredible experiences even after getting lost, because you find this nearby cafe or you find this area and you're like, okay, this is new to me. And you're like, well, I'm actually glad I found this cafe. So fear number one is, what if I get lost? Fear number two is, what if I don't know the language? When I first arrived in Tokyo, I knew konnichiwa and genki desu ka, which is hello and how are you? And that's about it. I did not know eki wa doko desu ka, which means where is the train station? I didn't have a clue how to say that. But throughout my years of experience living in Japan, I've been able to pick up on the language fairly quickly. In the northern part of Japan, a lot of the signs are in Japanese. They're not in English, unlike Tokyo. And I've had to sort of like force myself to learn the language. And I've gotten a lot better and I can speak the language. But here's the thing. Whatever country you're considering going to, you don't have to be fluent. Just learn basic phrases. We are blessed with technology today. 20 years we didn't have ChatGPT that could generate audio files for us. I've been learning Mandarin, a little Vietnamese, just from ChatGPT, and guess what? It's free. Now you can pay for the paid version, which is what I'm doing. But my point is you want to take the next step forward to learn those basic phrases so that you can maneuver in that country a little bit. But you don't have to be fluent. And in fact, many places I've been to, Taiwan or Vietnam, many of the people I've come in contact with can speak English. And I haven't really had any concerns. Now, obviously, there's some cafes I went in and they spoke the language and I had no idea what they were talking about. But over time, I just picked up on some of the languages and I got better. So, what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to travel to a country and not know the language. Some may argue, and I would actually concur with this, you can live in Japan for 9 years and not learn and not have to be required to know Japanese. Why? Because there are a lot of people in the country that speak English, and you can get around just speaking English. But we have apps today. We have all kinds of technology that allows us to be able to speak the language. In 2019, when I was in Tokyo, I heard about this Ili translator. I was very curious about it, and I went to their pop-up show, which was really cool. But it was cold that day. It was like 10 degrees. Man, I waited in line for 2 hours, and I wondered, was it even worth it? And that day, I bought an Ili translator device. And it has stored up, I think, like 40,000 to 50,000 phrases. And I took that thing with pride and went around Tokyo and other parts of Japan and started using that device. And I was amazed just how effective that device was. So I encourage you, whether you're flying to Japan or if you're planning to visit Japan or the Philippines or Vietnam, just know you don't have to be fluent in the language. Fear number 3, what if something goes wrong? You miss a flight, well, that could be a problem. Or if your flight is delayed, or if there's a typhoon that rolls through, like what just happened here in Okinawa, then obviously that can put a damper on your plans. But what if things go wrong? I will tell you, traveling in Japan for over 9 years, there's a lot of things that went wrong. I've been on a bullet train that has stopped in the middle of nowhere, and it's been probably an hour before that train was able to get up and running. That's a huge issue. That impacted all the Shinkansens all across the country. So that definitely was something that went wrong. Another thing that went wrong was when I was traveling Tokyo, I booked the wrong hotel. That's not good. Now, it doesn't help that, for example, with the APA, there's like 5 or 6 different ones in the area of like Shinjuku or Shibuya. And you just mistakenly book the wrong one. And you're like, well, because that one was a little bit further than the city than what you anticipated. Well, guess what? I had to change plans a little bit. So I revised my itinerary. But things have been not always great on my travels. But when things go wrong, that's where that analytical mindset kicks in, where you start asking, okay, what's plan B? And in our generation, we don't ask that question much. So we got to use our analytical thinking and ask ourselves the question, okay, what's plan A? What's plan B? What's plan C? What's plan D? And it's okay to do that, because your travels are not going to be perfect. You will have some amazing travels in your lifetime, and things will likely go according to plan. But there will be times, however, where maybe nothing goes according to plan, and that has happened to me. I remember when I was in Nikko, and Kamakura. So Kamakura used to be the capital of Japan. Now these are in two different spots, but I remember in both of those areas. And Nikko is like it's north of Saitama. So you have Tokyo, Saitama, and then you have Nikko. And I remember in those areas, I did not have a lot of yen. Now that's the currency that is used in Japan. And I asked for an ATM, and there was none in my vicinity. And let me tell you, I was stressed. Now, eventually, I found my way back to the train station. I found a 7-Eleven store where I was able to pull out some yen. But during that time, I was stressed and things were not going well. But I was able to overcome those obstacles, and I had so many experiences that I was able to pull uh, from those kinds of situations that I've encountered. I'm the author of 7 books, and I'm not saying that to like wave my prideful flag. These are all based upon experiences that I have collected over time to write these books. And these are it. Now it's taken a while to like write these books. This is a treasure trove of experiences, wisdom, insight, tips, techniques. And if you're interested, I will put the link at the bottom of the description. But my point is there's no perfect trip. And so things could go wrong. But you want to ask the question, okay, if things did go wrong, what's plan B? Fear number 4, I'm waiting for the perfect time. There's no perfect time. And so fear may be holding you back from traveling today. Maybe in your hometown, a lot of people don't travel. And you have this burning desire to do just that. To step outside your house, get in your vehicle, go to an airport, and fly out to another country. And I'll tell you, before I traveled to Japan, I was very nervous. I had never flown to another country in my entire life. And when you step out for the first time, you're nervous. You have anxiety, you have uncertainty, but that's okay. Because I'm glad that I did that. If I did not do that, because of fear holding me back, I wouldn't have written those 7 books. If I didn't take that bold step outside my house to go travel, I would have never been to over 15 countries. And so my point is, don't let fear hold you back from traveling. Yes, you're going to run into people that are not so friendly. I've done that. But you're also going to run into people who are very friendly and are willing to help you in any way. And so what are you waiting for? Now, you do not have to travel the entire world tomorrow. That's not what I'm saying. Wherever you are in your area, take one small step. Get out of your house, number 1. Number 2, go to the lake, go to a park, go to an amusement park or attraction. This is what it means to travel, to get out and do things, to do activities, to go with people. And you'll be glad you did. And you may say, well, I don't have a camera. I've got a Canon 80D, by the way. But I'll tell you, my iPhone, it takes better photos than that Canon 80D. And plus, the Canon 80D doesn't even have a GPS installed in it. And my iPhone has been able to capture magnificent photos. So even as a professional photographer, I have taken a lot of my photos off of an iPhone. Now it's about different angles and things like that. But my point is that when you step out and you travel the world, your perspective will change. You will see things you've never seen before. You'll taste foods you've never tried before. You'll experience cultures you never knew existed. And you'll be glad you did. You'll pick up on the language, and then you'll have this passion to continue like I did. And before you know it, you're speaking Japanese or Mandarin or Vietnamese just because you took a step of faith to say that I'm going to learn a language, I'm going to travel the world, and I'm not going to let fear hold me back. So here's what travel offers you. Travel offers you an opportunity to explore new places, to try different foods, to experience new cultures, to take photos from different angles, to build memories. And eventually you will take that step outside your city, outside the country, and you will explore to other countries. But it just requires taking that first step. And you will be glad that you took that step. Well, I want to leave you with some encouragement, and I hope I've been encouraging you this entire time. There are social media groups that would be happy to answer any of your questions about travels. And I encourage you to link up. Let's say you're going to Japan. I'm in so many of those groups. Japan planning tips, Japan travel, there's so many. And you just join the group and you ask questions and you learn about these people's experiences. And I've done a lot of that. In fact, I post a lot on these groups. So don't be afraid to ask questions before you leave. Now, I'll tell you, a lot of people were asking questions about travels to Japan. And I wrote this book, A Journey Through Japan. And I set this up very strategically because I talk about in chapter 1, prior to your arrival, here's what you need to know. You need to first get your passport. And then chapter 2, download the travel apps. Chapter 3, purchase plane tickets. And here's what happens when you're on the airplane. Here's what you need to be aware of. And then chapter 4, tour guides. I think I mentioned over 50 tour guides. Maybe it's 80. There's so many. And then on the plane, and then arrival at the airport. Here's what to expect at a Japanese airport. And then exploring Japan. Here's what you're going to experience. Here's cherry blossom, a chapter on cherry blossoms. Food, drinks, and ice cream. I mentioned just about everything that I have tried. Souvenirs, riding the Shinkansen or bullet train. And so if you're interested in this book, you can find it on Amazon. This is A Journey Through Japan by Zach Eldridge, Z-A-C-K. So I hope that I've encouraged you today. And I think that I have not spent a lot of time really talking through my experiences. I spent probably a lot of time focusing on basically travel itineraries and travel vlogs and that are related to specific places, but I haven't really talked about like my experience from the perspective of fear and what happens if you can't find a SIM card or something like that. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to your channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be alerted of the upcoming videos on this channel. Well, I just want to thank you for watching this channel. Subscribe and share this channel to your friends and families. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.